Hey, welcome to this live. Thanks for joining me. David Dunford here. So we are going to talk about commitments and why it is that sometimes our commitments aren't exactly followed through with. You know, it's tough, right? We have goals. I mean, New Year's resolutions that don't always materialize. You have these great, lofty, amazing goals, and then the follow through could use a little work, right? So what happens? Why is it that we have these good intentions and then they don't turn into positive results? How do we get the results that we want? So we're all human, and the goals that we make for ourselves are the ideals that we want for ourselves, and that's good. It's good to have goals and objectives, things that we're striving for, but the follow through is something that we may not be able to do by ourselves. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. So we set these goals and we get to the moment of truth, right, where where we have to follow through on it, and we may just be tired, or we may have something else going on, or we're having fun with something else, and it's really easy to slip out of that commitment phase. So how do we keep committed, and how do we follow through? Well, bringing somebody else into the picture is one idea that can make a huge difference. Debbie actually had something that she was working on, trying to improve about herself, and she was trying to do this on her own for a long time, and it just wasn't happening. It wasn't producing the results that she wanted. So she finally had the thought to call my sister, actually, of all people. My sister lives in another state, and she knows, of course, my sister, but they're not close enough that there's some pressure, if you will, or just she wants to follow through on what she's kind of worked out with my sister. So basically, they drew up a contract basically that stipulated what she would do to improve this thing about her life that she was trying to improve. So they set out the parameters, and they drew up this contract, and Debbie had to report to her how the day went, how things were going, and give that report on how she did, so that when the time came to either follow through on her commitment or not, she had the thought, well, wait a second, if I don't follow through on this, then I'm going to have to tell Melissa, who's my sister. And that really helped her. That really helped her to be able to stay committed, to follow through on what this goal was for herself. So that's one idea. Bring somebody else into the picture. Don't try to do it all yourself. Let somebody help you achieve the goals that you're trying to achieve. Draw up a contract. That's what they did. And if that's helpful for you, draw something up where it's specific. This is what I'm going to do. These are the commitments that I'm making, and I'm accountable to you as my helper, as my other person, to make sure that I follow through on these commitments. So now I have to remember the other thought. You have these ideas, and then you get in front of the camera and you forget what your other thought was. Anyway, so bringing somebody else into the picture can be really helpful. Oh yes, I remember now. Whoa. So the other thing was, and this is actually something that they built into the contract, was a reward system. So we have these commitments, we have these goals, and that's great, but working rewards into the process can be really helpful to help us stay motivated, to help us stay committed to the goals that we're trying to achieve. If we work in periodic milestone rewards, that can just make a huge difference. That's what Debbie and my sister has done, and it's been really beneficial. She is still going strong, and it's been over a month, and it's just been a difference in what she was able to achieve by herself. So that's my message to you. Keep setting those goals, keep setting commitments. Here's a couple of thoughts that might help you follow through. Bring somebody else in, set up rewards along the way, and you'll be able to achieve that success that you're seeking for. Thank you for joining me. Have a great one.